Is all the news all the time, and my name is Adam, and there's some very interesting news coming today. It looks like they've finally settled out of court. So we got Amber Heard has agreed to pay Johnny Depp $1 million. Finally, the actress says, "I never chose this." Yeah, you did. And tells fans, yeah, you did. And tells fans, you did. You're such a liar. And tells fans, "My life, as I knew it, was destroyed." I've heard some words. But by social media vilification, you read, as her insurance pay ex-husband settlement in defamation lawsuit. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard have finally settled their defamation claims, it says. Heard's insurance company will pay Johnny Depp $1 million. The insurance company will, so actually he will get paid, to put an end to the case. There are no restrictions what Heard can talk about in regards to the case. Seems Johnny and his ex-wife, the Sea Witch, have finally settled their defamation claims against each other, putting an end to the most bitter Hollywood divorce in modern times. Yeah, it was indeed. The pair's lawyers have thrashed out a deal which will see AH's insurance company pay Johnny Depp $1 million to put an end to the case, even though they owe him, 8.35? But in an important victory, Pyrrhic, for the actress, there are no restrictions about what she can talk about in regards to the case. Oh, you can imagine her jumping on every sofa of every interview in the land. And what she can talk about in regards to the case, and she has accepted no guilt. Well, that's a standard operating procedure, isn't it? Just no guilt, never for anything. Mail Online can reveal. The pair have been locked in a bitter legal dispute, a battle on both sides of the Atlantic over the last 6 years, after AH defamatory alleged she was the victim of domestic violence during their short marriage. Yeah, you don't want to get married to that woman. You don't want to. You don't really want to do anything with her. A courtroom in London found in her favour, but a second case in Fairfax, Virginia, earlier this year came out on Depp's side. The actress, that's debatable, 36, was ordered to pay $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million reduced to $365,000 in punitive damages, punishment damages for lying, following the 6-week defamation trial, while Depp, 59, was told to give her $2 million by the same courtroom in relation to vicarious liability for statements made by Adam Waldman as his lawyer, but that was due to be challenged on appeal. The pair's legal teams have been locked in discussions to avoid the pain of a bruising third trial. I think Johnny would have won like landslide victory in that. But there you go. A deal was finally made over the weekend, with both sides agreeing to put out a statement today at 2 p.m. GMT. It is now 2:47 GMT. Amber is now looking forward to moving on with her life. Oh, she says some lies, this woman. She was moving on last time, wasn't she? She's moving on again. She's doing more moving, as she planned to do 6 years ago. You're right. A source close to the actress told Mail Online. Oh, hi, Eve. She wants to put this unfortunate episode behind her. Oh, the hubris and lies. And turn to what she loves in life. Her career, no. No. Her family and her causes, no and no. In the bombshell statement posted on Instagram by Amber Heard, she claimed, "My life as I knew it was destroyed by the court cases." She added she had lost all faith of getting justice in the American legal system because you had to tell the truth and had to turn up. Compared it to her treatment in the UK courts and claimed that her former husband had won in the Virginia courtroom because of a vote for popularity and power over reason and due process. More likely, a vote for truth and justice over lies and treachery. Having already sold her LA home to help fund the legal action, she didn't want to risk losing even more. She didn't have anything else to lose. This settlement means her home insurance company will take on the payment to Depp. I make this decision having lost faith in the American legal system, where my unprotected testimony served as entertainment and social media fodder. I put it all down to your behaviour, which was appalling. The full statement reads, "After a good deal of deliberation, I have made a very difficult decision to settle." God, I can't believe this woman. I cannot with this woman. After a great deal of deliberation, I have made a very difficult decision to settle the defamation case. She can't even own up right at the end. Brought against me by my ex-husband in Virginia. You started it, lady. You started it. And the pair's legal team, we know all that. It's important for me to say that I never chose this. Yes, you did. You literally did. I defended my truth, by going to ACLU and writing an op-ed and trying to become one of their ambassadors and paying them loads of money. And in doing so, as my life, I knew it was destroyed. The vilification I faced on social media is an amplified version of the ways in which women are re-victimised, blah, 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 it's never your fault, when they come forward. Now I finally have an opportunity to emancipate, good word, myself from something I attempted to leave over 6 years ago. No, you didn't. No, you didn't at all. You didn't try and leave 6 years ago at all. You tried to extort someone. And on terms I can agree to. I've made no admission. Yeah, you're not wrong. This is not an act of concession. No, you're not wrong. You never do. And there are no restrictions or gags with respect to my voice moving forward. Honestly, I've never met or heard of such an unpleasant person. I make this decision having lost faith in the American legal system, where my unprotected testimony served as entertainment and social media fodder. You started it. When I stood before a judge in the UK, which was a different trial, I was vindicated by a robust, impartial and fair system. There's questions about that as well. Where I was protected from having to give the worst moments of my testimony in front of the world's media. You didn't have to provide any evidence, did you? Yeah. In the US, however, I exhausted almost all my resources in advance of and during a trial in which I was subjected to a courtroom in which abundant direct evidence that corroborated my testimony. The jury doesn't believe a word of this. The jury heard all this, saw all this, everyone heard and saw all this and don't believe a word of this. Abundant direct evidence corroborated my testimony was excluded, and in which popularity and power mattered more than reason. She's on this principle that if you just keep lying, eventually people believe you because they've got no other recourse to anything else. It's just, you just keep saying the same old lies and just keep doing it, and eventually it'll get through. That's what do they call that? Recidivism or something? No, it's not recidivism. Retconning, something like that. In the interim, I was exposed to a type of humiliation that I simply cannot relive, because you know you're going to lose. Even if my US appeal is successful, it wouldn't be. The best outcome would be a retrial where a new jury would have to consider the evidence again. I simply cannot go through that for a third time. No, it wasn't going to be a retrial at all. God, this woman. Time is precious. Time's run out for you, I think. Time is precious, and I want to spend my time productively and purposefully. For too many years, I've been caged. Oh, good Lord. Why do I have to read all this stuff? For too many years, I've been caged in an arduous and expensive legal process, which has shown itself unable to protect me and my right to free speech. Not really though, is it? It's defamatory speech, and I know why you did it, and it wasn't for free speech. I cannot afford to risk an impossible bill, one that is not just financially but also psychologically, physical and emotional. Psychological, physical, emotional. Oh, I see, yeah. Women shouldn't have to face... All right, now it's all women, is it? Women shouldn't have to face abuse or bankruptcy for speaking her truth, but unfortunately it's not uncommon. One, you're not women, you're a woman. Two, they don't face abuse or bankruptcy for speaking their truth. If they go to the police, no one bankrupts them. Only in defamation trials do they do it, when they're found to be guilty or liable. And you don't speak for all women, generally, so shut up. In settling this case, I am also choosing the freedom to dedicate my time to the work which helped me heal after my divorce. Oh God, let's guess what that is. Work that exists in realms in which I feel seen, heard and believed, and in which I knew I can affect change. Good Lord. I can't even with this woman. I will not be threatened, I wish you were, disheartened or dissuaded by what happened from speaking the truth. Her truth is very subjective. It's always a truth or my truth. It's not the truth, which is, objective truth. It's always her lived experience or something. No one can and no one will take that from me. My voice forever remains the most valuable asset I have. I think you were selling your other assets as well. I'd like to thank my outstanding appellate and original trials team. You're right. Yeah, that didn't go well, did it? For their relentless hard work and incompetence. I want to thank everyone who supported me and turned my attention to the growing support that I've felt, lies, and seen publicly in the months since trial, lies, and the efforts that have been made to show solidarity with my story, lies. Any survivor knows that the ability to tell their story often feels like the only relief, and I cannot find enough words to tell you the hope your belief in me inspires, not just for me, but for all of you. Thank you, Susan. God, good Lord. How do you put up with this? How do you put up with this woman? Honestly. I can't even. Her hubris is extraordinary. And her arrogance and her lack of conciliation and her lack of understanding and her lack of taking on board that maybe she's a nightmare, like literally a nightmare. And there's no responsibility. There's always rights, but no responsibility. It's always other people's fault. It's never her fault. It's always other people. Oh, she's unpleasant. Johnny Depp is expected to put out his own statement immediately. He might not even, because he's beyond that sort of stuff. While former Pirates of the Caribbean star Depp has attempted to restart his career very successfully, it is clear that the ongoing litigation has had a huge effect on it, thanks to her, including the actor being fired from the Fantastic Beasts franchise after the London court case. He lost loads of money because of her defamatory, untrue statements. And so he lost loads of money. And she's liable for a lot of stuff. That one there. And earlier this month, when his name was on a long list of music, which could be Brit Award winners, there were reports that female musicians would boycott. That was guesswork. No one said they would. This is just guessing. The event if he was on the shortlist. And that's the problem. Settling out of court and allowing her to rant and repeat the same lies just re-establishes the fact that there is no counter to her argument, even though she lost, even though the jury completely rejected everything she said. She's still able to put this out, and every week she'll put out more of this stuff. Never in my life. Such a person. Heard, meanwhile, had been so worried about her safety that she felt forced to leave America. No, there was other reasons behind that as well. With her daughter Una now living in an unknown country, Spain. Her career has also taken a huge knock thanks to her incredibly bad acting in various films, such as London Fields, the worst rated film on Netflix. I think it is. Is it 15th worst? I think so. Thanks in vicious social media assault on her. Although earlier this year she filmed an independent movie, The Fire, and remains a part of the Aquaman 2, better not be, which is out next year. Last month, an influential open letter campaign involving more than 200 domestic abuse campaigners and organisations hit out at the ongoing attacks on AH, saying much of the harassment was fuelled by disinformation. No, just because you don't like it, it's not disinformation. Just because you are supporting someone who lied doesn't make it disinformation or misogyny or biphobia. All it means is there's a lot of people who don't agree with what she did and said. And a monetised social media environment where a woman's allegations of domestic violence and sexual assault were mocked for entertainment. No, they weren't. The actress, allegedly, has pledged to continue to be a voice speaking up for women's rights. Really? Really? You don't think that would be a slap in the face for someone who's found to be an absolute liar? No? Well, okay. Well, your judgment's poor at best. So there you go. The vicious court battle between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp stunned the world, drawing back the curtains on the shocking drug-taking, alcoholism and violence in one of the most famous and seemingly glamorous Hollywood unions, which lasted 15 whole months. I'm sure she was an angel when he met her. 15 months later, she's just a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Depp, one of the world's highest paid actors, admitted to problems with both drugs and alcohol during the proceedings, and she was on the same stuff as well, while AH revealed how their love story had turned so sad. Oh, she's such an angel now, is she? She's got wings, she's got a halo, and right, even though she lost at the defamation trial and was punished $5 million for lying, well, she's the angel. Right, okay, cool. In one of the most talked about allegations, she was accused of defecating. Who does that sort of thing? I mean, literally, what sort of headspace do you have to be in to do that sort of thing? I don't mean to be sexist, but for a woman to do it is even weirder. I know that sounds really sexist, but it's freaking weird. A guy to do it is bad enough, but a woman, it's like, what? But anyway, let's not even. The pair met in 2009, this year, when Heard auditioned for a role, good God, in Johnny Depp's film The Rum Diary, and they got together in 2012. and it all went horribly wrong. It went horribly wrong. It really did. And there's a lot of stuff here. There's the court case again. And, well, there you go. There's a long timeline of the situation. Honestly. If it was me, I wouldn't have accepted any settlement. I would have taken her to the court and the Supreme Court and the Court of Human Rights. I'd have taken her everywhere. International Criminal Tribunal of Rwanda. I would have taken her to every single court I could find. I'd have taken her to the Yugoslavian War Tribunal. I'd have taken her everywhere. Let's go. I wouldn't have stood allowed to court ever with the witch. So let me know your thoughts. And if you found anything interesting, do like and subscribe, because I'm going to make more videos about this and various shenanigans over the next coming months. So if you'd like to hear more stuff, do subscribe. And God, jeez, I can't stand that woman. And right, I will see you guys later.